Okay, we're gonna dive right in, and we're gonna start at the bottom of page 5, and we're gonna read to the middle of page 6, and then we're gonna pick up on another video. And I'm gonna go and take care of some things, and then we'll get started all over again at chapter 6. Uh, oops, 1 second, just bear with me here. Just bear with me. I found my microphone, but I couldn't find my glasses. So, in the meantime, um, if I haven't said it on the last video, my name is James, and I'm one of the members of Nepaba, which is the National Economic Political Aggregation of Black America. We practice group economics, we practice group politics, and we teach those principles to uh, our youngest members, our Garveyites, which are G Scouts. They're in teams of or G teams led by a PAW, which is a positive affirmation warrior, and that positive affirmation warrior basically guides the team, is the adult and the wisdom on the team, and each team has its own PAW, and which is meant to, you know, drown the kids in positive affirmations, which I think you would agree most of our children in our communities need that. So, okay, so we're at the bottom of page 5, and we're gonna jump in right here. A report by the Urban Institute, The Color of Wealth in the and forgive me for stuttering sometimes a bit or hesitating, but I don't have my glasses on. I can't find my glasses. A report by the Urban Institute, The Color of Wealth in the nation's capital, the subject of an article in the Washington Post on November 2nd, 2016. The grim statistics in the article on black wealth reinforce the census chart and further evidence that blacks as a group are the nation's official underclass. That is incredible that we are the nation's official underclass. And it seems like our leaders are basically have resigned themselves to accepting the fact that we are on the bottom of the lowest rung. And hey, you know what? They seem to be okay with that because I don't see any movement. But what we here at Nepaba, we want to be the next APAC. We want to be, we want to have the longevity of the Freemasonry. We want to have we want the commitment of the Oath Keepers. So we want to be that institution that takes our children from the cradle to college. And we want to be there with them all the way through. Because this is something we should have already had in place, but it's not in place. And that's why we're saying we will ally, and our kids are taught that they can ally with anyone. But if you're drowning, don't worry about the people who are on the shore, who are safe in a boat. You need to get yourself out of the water. You need to worry about saving yourself, and then worry about, who is on land safe and dry. So our people have a huge issue with worrying about other groups, but we're the ones. And with Dr. Anderson's books, you'll see, if you just take a moment and read these books, you'll see how ridiculous that we behave. And he calls it inappropriate behavior. And that's exactly what we display, some of us. Um, so let me get back into this. So the grim statistics in the article on black wealth reinforce the census chart and are further evidence that blacks as a group are the nation's official underclass. The Urban Institute report pointed out that in the District of Columbia region, the net worth of white households was 81 times that of black households. Whites had a net worth of $284,000, and the net worth of blacks was only $3,500. That's absolutely insane. That's absolutely insane. And no adult, male or female, should allow something like that to exist and call yourself a proponent of to the next generation of children coming. If that's something that they have to deal with, if if this is in, if these numbers still exist anywhere close to the generations that are coming behind, whatever generation that is the eldest generation, then there is a problem with the eldest generation, and the youngest generation coming up shouldn't accept it. They should call out, completely call out the older generation and say, hey, you know what? This is absolutely ridiculous that you're handing us this over to us. This is like handing over a dirty bathroom without without cleaning it. You go and you use something and then you hand it off to the person without even. I mean, how am I going to use this? What are our children going to do with this ridiculous with these numbers and that are existing from for over 400 years? It doesn't seem to get any better. So we definitely need to fix this. Um, and it can be fixed because we are those people. So it can be fixed. We just have to understand that the Most High helps those who help themselves. So this uh, disparity was even more stark because within the region, Prince George's County, Maryland, has the highest concentration of wealthy and educated blacks in America. Yet Hispanic immigrants in the DC region have acquired four times the net worth of blacks, even though as a group 90% have been in America and the DC region for barely 40 years. One of the things that a lot of groups have, especially Hispanics have, is they have a network. They have a family unit that's sort of like just built in and firmly built in, securely built in. They have, and that is always apparent. And but for some reason, there are black leaders that keep acting as though Hispanics need our help. I don't. I mean, we can ally, with other groups that makes sense, but we are of a community, so we can ally, we can help our brothers. But I think even the Hispanics would agree that we need to help ourselves before we start trying to help anybody else, including our brothers in the Hispanic community. But this is what our so-called leaders or misleaders seem to be focusing on. The same bottom rung status applies to blacks in business ownership, wealth accumulation, and in the hiring process. A group becomes a permanent underclass when, regardless of individual expectations that exist, the group remains fixed at the lowest levels century after century, regardless of whether the mainstream economy is experiencing boom or bust times. An underclass, and its the black race and its members are routinely blamed for their own socioeconomic dilemma. Conservatives argue that black underclass status results from failure to take advantage of the limitless social, political, and economic opportunities that this nation offers to all groups. They further postulate that blacks are handicapped by their attitude, values, culture, and work ethic, which differ from that of the mainstream white society. Blacks did not become a permanent underclass on their own. And I agree with that. I mean, I think you guys would agree with that too. that we didn't become a permanent underclass on our own, but we don't have to remain a permanent underclass. I think we do have a part in remaining a permanent underclass. It seems like there are um, there are these interfacers that we've had to deal with through our history in this country that they would prefer to stay where we are. They don't want us to progress any further, um, and they look like us, you know. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll meet you back here at another time. Peace.